Hey there folks, welcome to a quick follow-up announcement hype video, whatever you want to call it. I'm the Mysterious JG. It is Thursday in the early part of the evening, and in less than 12 hours, Bobo and I are going to be embarking on a plus 24-hour live stream. I was confused. It's actually, he's not planning on hitting the 24-hour mark and wrapping it up. We're going to keep going into Saturday night. So I'm going to pull back the curtain a little behind the scenes secrets. It's going to be over 24 hours in total, and the vast majority of it is going to be us streaming together, possibly with others as well. But we're also having to figure out little ways to sneak in a little sleep, since we're going to go over 24 hours. And part of it's going to be me heading home and getting a little sleep, and then coming back and relieving Bobo. So there'll be a couple hours where I will probably be on my own. And what I've decided to do, and I need you guys to understand, this is what I'm thinking about trying to do. We might run into technical difficulties. There might be other guests who are around and wanting to be part of it, and making this not make sense. The stream, the live audience might say that they want something else. So if I say that I'm going to try this, and then it doesn't happen, and you message me to complain, just understand no fucks will be given, because no guarantees have been made. But I'm planning on doing a little Nobunaga's Ambition. What is the byline for this one? Rise to Power, is that what this one is? Yeah, Nobunaga's Ambition, whatever this game is actually called. I'm gonna do a little bit of this in the probably on Saturday morning. Because I'm going to go home, try to get some sleep on Friday night, come back in on Saturday morning, and record for some time while Bobo is asleep. And in order to make that worth people's while to check out, since it's only going to be for a couple of hours, one thing I thought I would try to do, and I was halfway through doing this anyway, just as a random thing. Oh, not edit historical officers. What I've done is I've gone in and I collected all the applications for my last LP that were complete and valid applications, but that didn't get through the lethal lottery. Because I ended up grabbing more than half of the applications. I really put a lot of officers into that lethal lottery. And what I'm doing is I'm making the officers who did not get selected. So if you if you were watching my channel and you submitted a character and you didn't get picked, I am planning as part of this live stream to record or to just stream a little bit of Nobunaga's Ambition, start a new scenario. So you might get a chance to jump in there and be part of the action. So everybody except for my own avatar, Zerfal's avatar, Lethal and Grimmeth's avatar, and the Bean Clan. Those characters are all active. Every other created officers, from the ones that really didn't have a whole lot of impact that I remember, like Zulnorak Tetsu no Kabe was not a huge player. Saruko, as I just happened to land on, was a big part of the LP. Those guys are all out. Lubu, Leonardo Peacecraft, Master Miller, Akira Hato, whom I came to love, she's out. Charlton Jaina, out. Delicious Taco. Wait, Delicious Tacos is supposed to be in. I thought Delicious Taco. Oh wait, no, not. I might have screwed up and made an additional Delicious Tacos. Actually, no, mouth-watering pie I made. Yes. So Delicious Tacos is out. Mouth-watering pies are in. Ryu Doragon and Atata Ora Ora are out. Kalstia Ryazaki and Arki Rakerson are in. And there's people I was really rooting for that didn't make it, like All Dragon is in. I haven't made his character yet, but High Priest Funeral's character will be in. I'm just gonna play for a couple hours, and if people are really interested, I might try to carry it on, although it's hard to say when, since the new RTK game is coming out in a matter of weeks. But a thing is in. Risaru-chan Senpei is in, and he looks just like Garth Morgan. I gave you the face that you asked for, except I probably didn't, because as we found out during the actual Let's Play, because I unlocked bonus portraits by going through the scenarios and tutorials and stuff, the portrait layout that was there when I recorded the video telling you how to submit a character didn't match the portrait layouts when I created your characters, which is why some people, noticeably J4W whatever pirate guy, his face looked completely different from what he wanted it to, and he kept complaining. And I was like, "You're an idiot. You don't understand how rows and columns work." Well, turns out we were both kind of wrong, or both right, however you want to look at it. So I haven't made all of them yet, and some of them I've made, and they probably don't have the picture that the person who created them intended for them to have. But you're just going to have to suck it up and deal. This guy, see, Ankfa looks like Earl King. The game doesn't have a problem with you using the same portrait for multiple created characters. I kind of had a problem using the same portrait for multiple created characters, except that unless you grab the portrait of, Grimmith, Zerfall, here's particularly one. I hope Webster Sky picked that intentionally, because if you didn't and you picked a more generic portrait, that's really far off. You're become Asuka. A thing usually kind of a goofy, zany sort of dude, so he probably did intentionally pick this one. It's hard to say. But, and Kazuhiro, I do remember you saying in the comment, you picked a regular portrait, but you're like, oh, but if I can be Yasuke, please. Because it's always tough for a black guy like myself. He was saying, he's a black guy. I'm not a black guy. Nothing wrong with being a black guy. I just don't have to be one. So I went ahead and gave you Yasuke's portrait because I'm already doubling up on portraits here, so why not? And that was an exception to the rule, because I noticed the way he wrote it up, and I was like, yeah, that does kind of have to suck if you like playing these historical games set in Asia, that you probably don't have a chance to really make your own created character portrait that works good for you. But yeah, sadly, there are characters who never got a chance to shine in the LP, like Fat John. You got through the Lethal Lottery, you made it through the rain, but you're out. Scotty North, that's the one it's one of my favorite characters in the LP. She's out. Hans Verst didn't get to show up much, you're out. Princess Kaiden loved you, you're out. But anyway, I haven't finished making them all, and I need to do that. And I also need to stop talking. I was going to record some WWE tonight, but I think if I'm going to be part of a 24-hour plus live stream, I should probably spare my voice for a few hours. So that's it. What am I saying? How long have I been taking to say it? I'm saying that as a bonus thing in the live stream tomorrow, which I am not promising will happen, I wasn't going to bring the PS4, but Bobo mentioned it specifically. He's like, hey man, bring it over, hook it up, set your output to 720 before you do so to make it smoother, but it was actually his idea. You might want to play that during the portion I'm asleep. And I was like, that's a really good idea. Even though I've got a PS2 Nobunaga's Ambition game I've not played at all, this is the one that I feel like playing. So, sometime Saturday, late night Saturday. Well, no, it'll be Saturday morning. Saturday morning, folks. Instead of watching your Ninja Turtles and your Scooby-Doo, Saturday morning cartoons have been gone for a long time, haven't they? I don't even know. I was, deep personal moment. Part of me wants to have kids just so that I have an excuse to watch cartoons again. But anyway, spend your Saturday morning with me and one of the various historical scenarios. I guess that's one last thing I can do before I sign off. Is if you think you're going to be around Saturday morning checking it out, what I'd been playing around in the last video with was the One-Eyed Dragon, playing as Masamune Date. I got all the DLC scenarios, and I haven't played any of them. But although, as I mentioned in a video at one point, I like the idea of supporting the game franchises that are kind of niche and kind of enjoyable. Like, I like the fact that a really slick, professionally produced game like this is out there instead of a well done but less slick game by a talented amateur. I mean, that's cool and all, but I like the idea that somebody can make money making a game like this and not another 2K sports game. And I say that as somebody who's recently been getting the 2K WWE games. So, but no, there's a couple. We did The Birth of Nobunaga. Essentially, Viper of Mino is just like the same thing, but starting slightly later. I guess you could play as Nohime's father. I suppose in this game she's called Kicho's father, Dosan Saito, who seems like a pretty interesting character. But I'd be more likely to play God of War Descends. This would be the one where I would actually play. They never came into being. They continued to be the Nagao up until the very end. But we could play as the Dragon of Echiko, Kenshin Uesugi. Struggle for Power, the Tiger of Wari. I believe this is the one where you would be playing as... no, this is Nobunaga again. Although you can play, I mean, you can pick any force. Like you could take the Birth of Nobunaga, Rise of Nobunaga one, and you could play as like Rando Clan on, you could play as like the Chosokabe, and this is set up that way. With Struggle for Power, but the ones I'd be more interested in are the DLC ones, like the Rise of Motonari Mori, Battle of Okahazama. I don't remember if it's a DLC or not. Stronger than Alliance, Dawn of Revolution, Nobunaga Besieged, Shingen's Final Step. One of these is roughly speaking about the rise of Shingen, I thought. So I probably am not figuring out the right name. And then Shingen's Final Step, I think, is one where you play as the Takeda at a high point for them. But Shingen is almost dead. Like a Dream. This is one... I don't know, there's all different ones you can play. Fateful Clash, which you play as... This is like Mitsuhide has just betrayed Nobunaga, and you can play as him, and this is an ideal point to start if you want to play through the rise of Hideyoshi. One-Eyed Dragon's the one I've been messing with. Kyushu Conquest, actually, is kind of an interesting one. I mean, you can play as the Hashiba clan and take over, but wouldn't it be interesting to play as any of the other remaining clans and try to prevent Hideyoshi from coming to power, right? Battle of Sekigahara. Can you change the tide of history so that the Western Army prevails? And if the Western Army were to prevail, would Mitsunari himself come to rule Japan, or would one of the forces that were on his side, like the guys, never mind. What I'm trying to get at is that there's a whole bunch of different scenarios we could play, and we'll be playing for a couple of hours while Bobo's asleep, unless people get really bored with it. And, again, I'm not promising this is going to happen. This is just an idea I had, so... Why was there only 2? Oh, because that's the tutorial. Gotcha. So, there you have it, folks. If you think you'll be around and you'd want to check that out, why don't you be around and check that out? I'm the Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys at the stream. I gotta log off and finish creating the characters who submitted but didn't make it last time, because I'm only about halfway done with that. Bye-bye.